first of all, our goal today is that we have 2 supporting paragraphs with evidence from the research that you've done on teen activism. You are working on your 2 supporting paragraphs today because last night we were to have our intro paragraph done. I want to show you an example of a wonderful introduction. Now please know that I know that this is pretty lengthy and I'm not expecting all of us to have this, but I want you to hear how well she kind of grabs our attention, okay, and makes us think about the topic of teen activism. She also gives us some great background information. So this is for Chapter 1, Teen Activism. This is her first paragraph. It says, what is teen activism? That seems to be the big question that everyone is asking. Some say that it's when a child is being heroic and making a change for the greater good. While on the other hand, some others say it's when young children are wasting their time trying to make a change in something that's way bigger than them. But what they don't understand, this is my favorite part, is that those children could turn into the next Rosa Parks or Martin Luther King Jr. They all did something, not just for their benefit, but for the benefit of others. Do you really think we could keep making better changes if you just put them down all the time? Do you blame them for trying? Teen activism is someone who, without fault, does something for other people's best benefit because they believe they can do that. They have faith. And now here we see her thesis. Notice how much of an introduction she wrote before she even got to the thesis. Teen activism begins in different ways, like a single moment of inspiration, repeated personal experiences with the issue, and because of difficult experiences. So notice we can clearly see now what her 3 supporting paragraphs are going to be. When you write your intro, it is so important. That's probably one of the most important parts of your paper is really laying things out and telling your readers how things are going to unfold. Okay, today you are going to be giving evidence to support your reasons. Okay, so what that looks like is you are obviously writing paragraphs. You're going to cite examples from the text. Well, what text are we using? We're using those articles from the starter packet. Okay, or maybe you found some other activists that you were interested in. Okay, make sure that when you reflect, a lot of times we use once we say what the quote is, we say why we use that quote. We use the phrase, this quote is significant because. Well, that gets pretty monotonous after a while, so I want to challenge you to use one of these 2 anchor charts over here as a way to transition into those thoughts. Instead of saying this quote is significant because, try this shocking statistic illustrates, or this shocking story, or the article. This quote or story is important because this really revealing statement by Malala or whoever highlights the importance of. Okay, these are all other ways that you can then explain those quotes. There are other ways to introduce your quote. We don't just have to say, for example, this text states. We use that a lot. You could say, according to the text, or readers learned that, research shows. You could say so-and-so claims something, describes it by saying. There are lots of other ways to introduce quotes. I want you to try to play around with different ways of giving us examples and then explaining your examples. You will also find all of this assignment that we're talking about right now is on Canvas. On Canvas, there's a link to a mentor text that you can use. I also have sample mentor text over on the computer cart. There's also that checklist that I gave you, that 6th grade checklist for informational writing. You need to make sure that you're using that as well too. Okay, look at the lead and the introduction. All right, so our main goal for today is that you are going to get those 2 supporting paragraphs done. You are going to also need to then write your conclusion. If you get to that today, that's great. But I want you to really focus on at least 2 supporting paragraphs. Some of you might write 3, and in that case, try to get all 3 done today. Okay? So